guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite things to make with pork chops. We're going to make my herb and garlic crusted pork chops with an onion gravy. So good, so delicious, so fast. So to make this, you're going to need lean center cut boneless pork chops, chicken stock, a large onion sliced, some minced fresh rosemary and parsley, about a tablespoon of butter, 2 cloves of minced garlic, salt, pepper, and Worcestershire sauce. And you're also going to need, of course, a little bit of olive oil to get the whole thing going. Okay, so to make this, it's really easy. Instead of putting the garlic and the herbs in the sauce, we're going to crust the pork chops to make sure they have a lot of flavor. But before we do that, we need to just salt and pepper this. I'm going to make sure you flip it and do the other side as well, which I've done with just the salt. So now we're going to do the pepper on the one side, and then we're just going to start putting our herbs and our garlic all over this. And I know this sounds and looks crazy, but trust me, it's so good when that pork chop and you bite into it and it's just crusted with all that goodness. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. So, and you can do this recipe with chicken breast if you don't eat pork. It's totally okay. And the rosemary. Now reserve a little rosemary and parsley just because I want to put some in the gravy as well. Now pat this in so that it sticks and flip it so we can do the opposite side. I have a large nonstick pan here preheating over medium-high heat with about a tablespoon of olive oil. Nothing fancy, no extra virgin. And this is really nice and hot, so we're going to add in our that's exactly what you want to hear when you add in your pork chops. Fantastic. Wonderful. And these are going to cook for just 2 to 3 minutes on each side. We're not looking to cook these all the way through. We're looking to cook these about 3/4 of the way through. And you want to get a really good color on each side. And then we're going to make the gravy. And then right before we're ready to serve them, we're going to slide the pork chops back in and let them cook all the way through it in that onion gravy. So good! And my pork chops brown on both sides. Now to this pan, which is now a little dry, I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. Not much, about half a tablespoon. And all those brown bits, that's good stuff. We're going to add our sliced onions and just pick them up, just like so. I'm going to salt and pepper my onions. And you want to let this cook. I reduced the heat to medium. And I'm going to let this cook for about 10 minutes. I know this sounds like it's a long time, but trust me, you want to get that really nice caramelization thing going on these onions to really bring out their sweetness and flavor. Now that my onions are beautifully caramelized, I'm going to add some chicken stock. Now this is chicken stock that I made, and I always keep it in the freezer and take it out anytime I need it. About a cup of chicken stock, and then with a wooden spoon, I'm just scraping the bottom to make sure I get all those brown bits off. That's called deglazing the pan, giving it lots of flavor. Turn this up to medium-high now. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. It's going to give a fantastic flavor. There's a lot in there. And it's really going to come together beautifully. Now once this comes to a boil, I'm going to add my pork chops back in for another 5 to 6 minutes to cook them all the way through, because remember, we just browned both sides. So once this comes up to a boil, we're going to add in our pork chops and finish the thing up. Now that this came up to a boil, we're going to put the pork chops back in. And I'm going to cook these for about 3 minutes on each side, and I'm going to flip them because I want to make sure that they stay nice and juicy on both sides. And the juices that kind of collected in the plate, you want to put those right back in because they have a lot of flavor. I'm just taking my pork chops out. They're cooked all the way through, and I flip them after 3 minutes just to make sure that they stay nice and juicy on both sides. And now to this, we're going to add that 1 tablespoon of butter. It's really going to kind of pull the sauce together, make it glisten. That remaining chopped parsley and rosemary. Stir this up, and you're just gonna literally stir this until the butter melts. It's really not like a gravy, but it's just a luscious, oniony, goodnessy sauce. I don't know how else to say it, but it's just really good. And that's it. this is done. Now let's head over to the table so we can put this together and take a bite. Just spooning my delicious onion mixture over my pork chops. Oh, that looks incredible, doesn't it? I have to give this a taste. It smells so good. The pork should be perfectly cooked. I need a little bit of that onion mixture. Whoop. Almost lost it. Wow. That is melt in your mouth delicious. That onion mixture is like heaven. I could just put that on toast and eat it by itself. It's that delicious. The pork, perfectly cooked. It's got a lot of nice flavor from the herbs, from those herbs and that garlic crust on the top. I can't even talk. This is so good. I just want to dig in for more. I hope you guys have enjoyed spending time with me. To get this recipe and other recipes, check out my website at www.laureninthekitchen.com. And I'll see you next time. Bye.